Hey, everybody. This is Alicia Rain, and I'm hosting episode 166 of the workshop. It is actually Halloween, October 31st, 2020. And so we've got some really fun material planned for everybody. I have the honor of working with Chris Waldeck. He's a comedian. He's got some funny stuff. And then Charles Andrew Payne. First time I met him, but I'm sure he's got some funny stuff. He's hosted the show before. You've probably seen him around. And then Ambrish Singh. He is our fourth in this combo. And so I think we'll have a really good time. So my topic was Michael Myers. So Michael Myers was the main bad guy in Halloween, and that movie was actually directed by John Carpenter, who he directed The Thing beforehand, and he was like, you know what, I need to take a little bit of a break and direct something more lighthearted, like Halloween. He was just like, you know what, just something light. It was his next film. So, yep. And then in the movie, Michael Myers has a mask, and the mask is actually a Captain Kirk mask. And so I always thought it would be funny, like, what if that was Captain Kirk? You know, so this is my terrible impression of Captain Kirk as Michael Myers. I'm going to kill you now. That was it. And fantastic. So the rest of my stuff are just really silly Halloween puns. So I'm going to go ahead and just do some fun puns. I hope you enjoy them. So my first one, the sun was reflecting off of a shiny surface, and it was actually affecting my vision. So I said, hey, Edward, put a shirt back on. So no Twilight fans? Oh. Not a problem. Moving on. So a voodoo priestess asked Chucky the doll, hey, can you help me with this soul transfer? And Chucky was like, no problem. That's child's play. Yeah, good. And then the next one is, why did the wolf refuse Coors Light? Because he doesn't drink Silver Bullet. Yeah, that one actually gets quite a bit of a laugh. It's funny. What is the name of the scary Care Bear? Telltale Heart. And then what is the computer virus called that caused a blackout in California? The Wicked Glitch of the West. Good times. And then what did the husband say when his wife asked him why he was dimming the lights? I'm just trying to frighten the mood. Yeah, let's see if I've got anything else here. Couple more, and then we'll kind of move on. What is the name of an acrobat? What is the nickname of an acrobat named John? Jack the Flipper. Yep. And then what did Marie Antoinette say before she died? I'm going to be headed out. All right, guys, those were my puns. My last one, I'll do my last one, which nobody gets, and that's okay. I'll just do it. What's Michael Myers' favorite song? Bohemian Rhapsody. And that's okay. That's okay that nobody understands it. All right, guys. Any feedback on my silly puns?
All right, I'll go first. Impressions are always a risk, but I thought you pulled that off very well, and I actually wanted a little bit more. You know, if you're gonna go down that route, I think then feed me some more, because I thought, she nailed the characterization right. Now I want some more jokes in that voice and some more throwouts in that voice. Puns, wow! I only know one pun comic. He's made a Neil Melrose. Look him up on Facebook. He's gotten masterful at it, and you were coming fairly close there. So it's again tricky thing to do, but I liked it. I'd like the Marie Antoinette one, except I was wondering if you could just if I don't know, just throwing it out there instead of be heading out. I think that's too much on the nose. But if you just said I'm headed out,
Okay.
right? I can fill in the rest in my own mind, and so that's it. But I love that you're willing to take risks.
All right. Well, I appreciate the feedbacks. I think there's some good feedback there. So, yeah, Chris, anything to add?
Yeah, definitely headed out, not be headed out.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Ambrish, how are you? Anything to
I'm
add?
still awake. Yep. No, I mean it was a good set. I really liked your act out and your impression. The thing is, I'm not from this country. I just moved here 2 years ago. I'm not really a Halloween guy that much, so I'm not really familiar with the source material. Like haven't seen any Michael Myers movies or something, so I already don't know anything about the movie. So your jokes didn't really connect with me because I don't have the information about the jokes for you to twist them. But I liked your impression. I think the way you tried to be a little silly with the who was the person, Klingon. He was a Klingon, I think.
Oh,
What was
Captain Kirk.
He's a Klingon, right, or something. He does the hand thing, I think. I don't know.
He does it like a hand thing, I think.
I know. Yeah.
He's a human, and then like his co guy is a Vulcan. So
Yeah. I mean, the way you were doing the impression, you were, were you like intentionally trying to be silly with it, or was it a just thing, that happened at the moment? Because if you're intentionally trying to be silly with it, you could own that and you could play that on stage if you want, and you could get a fair few laughs with that. Sorry, just one moment. The alarm started popping off, and the puns. I'm not really good with puns either, but yeah, I mean, yeah, just like the Chris Waldick, the guy with the glasses and the curly hair, who I'm assuming is a Jew. Uh, I don't know why I'm even making the connection. I don't know why I'm going there. But yeah, you could definitely go deeper into puns too. There's a guy in Niagara Falls called David Green. He's really good at it too. You could probably watch one of his sets online, and what he does is, am I talking too much?
no. So David Green,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then Chris, who was your guy that does the puns?
No, it wasn't Chris. It was me. It's Charles, and it was Neil
Charles,
Melrose.
I'm so sorry. I was looking at you.
All right, I see the similarities.
The CH. Yep.
Yeah.
Who was your guy again? I'm sorry.
Neil Melrose.
Neil Melrose.
And he is in Calgary.
Okay. And then Ambrish, who is your guy again?
David Green. So yeah, basically what he does is, when I mean, they're pretty good. He's pretty good at it. So if you really want to go down the path of puns, just puns all the way, I think he would be a good shout out to learn from or and watch.
All right, very cool. Well, I appreciate the names and I appreciate the feedback. Very cool. Chris, you want to take your mute off and be next?
Yeah, I'll be next. Sure.
Okay, I'm going to
All
switch over the screens. I keep on forgetting to do that. I'm going to go put Chris in the hot seat there. All right. What was your subject?
All right. So the subject that I got was witches. So I kind of did a little routine about some of my ex-girlfriends, and then I realized that it was actually about witches, not bitches. So I was kind of just like, I realized I had fucked it up just a little bit first. But yeah, let's talk about witches a little bit. You know how they always say that coffee and stuff, like, is supposed to make you like happy, make you get going throughout the day, just give you that little buzz? Then how come witches brew has the exact opposite effect? It does not work on witches. No, that just makes them want brew. Witches brew is just them eating fucking kids. That's all that does. Like, that's the exact opposite of what coffee is supposed to do. It's like witches defy the magic of coffee. That is what I have. That is what I've learned and stuff from dealing with that and stuff. Like, one of the things I'll say is that about witches and stuff, like, witches, if they don't wear underwear, that's the easiest way for them to feel wood when they ride that broomstick. That's all I have to say. I don't even know if I probably should have worded that better, but I'm just trying to think. Like, they always, whenever they say, I'm pretty sure that my old, some old teachers were, I'm pretty sure my old English teachers were witches because they were always because they were always doing a spell checks on me. Made me feel like shit, all the time ago. So needless to say, I don't like witches very much. I've just had some very, very odd experiences. Maybe just because I've had some odd experiences with women and stuff. I'm not gonna lie though. I think that I've tried to be nice to women, like so they don't turn out to be witches and stuff. But I'll put it this way: this is how my life's been pretty much going so far. I haven't gotten paid a dime from Dieter or the PUA over here in Vegas. I've got like so much debt that I haven't been able to pay off. I'm working like 80 to 100 hours a week just to keep up. Today, driving on the highway, I was stuck on the highway for about 5 hours because my tire blew up when I was driving. So I was basically stuck there. They called the tow truck. The tow truck comes and says, "Oh shit, Uber Premium, they ordered you to have the tire changed and you don't have a spare tire. You're gonna have to recall and reorder it again so we can go tow your car." They literally left me there. The tow truck. I was like, but you can just tow me with that. Like, "Oh no, we got an order coming up." And left me there for our 2.5 hours on the road, and then came all the way back on the highway and picked me up and went out there. And I'll just put it this way: I don't know if I necessarily pissed off a witch, but I think that maybe Chris Waldeck, AD, in a different life may have pissed off a witch. That's what I'll say. I think in another life, I think a different Chris Waldeck pissed off a witch, and now I'm paying the price for it right now. That is what I think of it. For costumes, for costumes and stuff, like people always say I look like a little bit like an evil wizard just because of my glasses and stuff. That's what people always say to me. But I can't really cast anything because I'm a terrible actor. So I'm never really I'm never really good about any of that. But my gosh, I'll say the only thing about witches that I don't mind are black cats. I love black cats. That's one thing. Just because I'm a cat lover, I don't care if it's any bad luck. I know it's the closest I'll get to pussy, so I don't mind black cats one bit at all. That witches often bring around. And speaking of that, did anyone hear that in Florida today, some guy had a really bad experience with a black cat? You guys hear about the leopard story that happened over in Florida? Yeah, apparently some guy, he paid $150 to someone in Florida that I guess owns an endangered a captive endangered black leopard. He basically paid the guy $150 because the owner promised him a full contact experience where he would get to pet and cuddle, like, get pictures with a black leopard. And he was to say, basically what happened was the owner opens up the door, the guy walks in, and as soon as he walks in, the leopard jumps and just starts mauling the shit out of him. I'm like, well, he did get a full contact experience, He got what he paid for. So, you can't say it was false advertising. That's for sure. Yeah, the dude ended up, like, pretty much half his head was basically scalped, and he, like, lost half his ear in the process. I was like, how in the fuck did you think a black leopard was going to let you just, like, walk in? Whenever you hear a story about a black leopard, it's never good. They literally attack you when you're not even in the cage. You stand by the cage and they try to attack you. They're like the Karens of the jungle. Like, they won't let you get near them. Every picture of a black leopard is just them staring at you with fucking eyes beaming out, just like looking at you like evil. It's like, that's not a fun animal by any means. That looks like the black cat that the witches would say, "Screw this," and they would fucking dip, and they sell the black leopards. And that's my bit. Sorry, I've been stuck on a highway for about 5 hours. This is what coherency sounds like when you're stuck for 5 hours in Vegas.
All right. Well, I'm sorry about your witch of a day. Chris, but you had some good stuff.
Not even a broom can dust me off from this.
All right. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like there could be something about like the broom vibrating. So like they have a vibrating wooden broom.
I feel bad. I didn't have any jokes. I really did not have any jokes for this. Like, I never have any jokes on the subject. It's like my life is just such an organizational wreck right now. Maybe a good witch can give me a spell one of these days.
There you go.
That's not shitting on my writing in English class.
I did like the spell check joke. I thought that was really good. Actually, I feel like you could have a couple other, like maybe even a math joke or something, because like all those old teachers, they're always kind of like old and witchy or whatever.
Yeah.
I like the terrible actor pun where you can't get cast in anything.
Yeah, what was it? I can't cast anything because I'm a terrible actor.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, so I don't know, some good stuff. Charles, you have anything to add? Oh, you're on mute.
This is my second time, I think, with Chris. He always does free form stream of consciousness, so that's what I was expecting.
No, I'm just unprepared. ADHD, it's fucked me over my whole life. 10 years gone. 10 years gone, man.
Wow.
You're 10 years old?
Okay, cool.
pretty much 10 years of my adulthood gone.
Oh,
because of severe ADHD untreated. It's getting worse, so I want to be prepared, though. I want to actually have jokes. I want to today, but I was stuck on a fucking highway for 5 hours. So blown.
I think you should record some of your stream of consciousness stuff because you had a couple of pretty good zingers in there. So
yeah. Seriously, like my material is just frightening just because of its quality. Really, like seriously, I couldn't even there aren't even any trick or treaters in Vegas right now. It's the most depressing thing. Like I literally walked outside and I was like, what the fuck? Where is everyone? I have like 4 bags of candy at my house. I'm like, well, I won't be dying from COVID. I guess I'm just dying from diabetes. That's pretty much how I'm going.
You walk outside and it's literal tumbleweeds because you're in Vegas.
Yeah. Literal tumble. Yeah, pretty much that's it. Mm-hmm.
All right. Ambrish, sounds like you might have some comments. Got anything to say?
The bitches joke was good at the start for the eggs, I guess. And the joke with the candy and the diabetes, the one thing you just said, that was really funny too. I think that that could be worked out as a throwaway line. And yeah,
Cool. I know. I didn't plan at all, dude. I've been having the worst day ever, like the worst day ever. So my
But that's
Halloween's
okay, man.
fucking ruined.
I've been there. I've been in that situation. I do have ADHD too. But the good thing is, real, like every top big comedian has ADHD. So like
Yeah, I just can't control
you
mine.
have the
That's the thing.
ingredients there. So
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I don't know.
your stuff was great, Chris, and I think you should just like go back and listen to it because you're doubting yourself, but there's some good stuff there. So,
Yeah.
all right, Charles, loving the stream of consciousness. Anything else to add?
No, I think what you said there for Chris is exactly right. You have material there, you just don't have structure.
Yeah, I have no structure. I never plan. I never have anything ready, and that's what pisses me off so much the most.
Well, it was fun. It was definitely fun experience. Like it's
Mhm.
always like there's always just you're always entertaining to watch. I'm never like bored or whatever. So
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
Yeah.
All right, Charles.
Oh, I'm up.
Yep, I'm looking
Okay.
forward to it because I haven't seen any of your stuff yet. So
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. My topic for this week was slutty costumes.
What?
And first, slutty costumes.
Oh.
So first off, I hate the word slut. The dictionary definition of slut is a woman who has many casual partners. A man who has many casual partners, I looked it up, is called a Casanova. I was very disappointed when I looked that up because I was hoping it would be called Charles. Alas, all men are great in their dreams. So, and then costume. What exactly is a costume other than a particular set of clothes you choose to wear on any given day? Right now, I'm wearing my slutty suburban dad costume. So what makes it slutty? I have no idea, but if you're feeling tingling sensations in your neither regions when you look at me, it's working. Don't worry, we'll keep it casual. So why would you choose your costume based on how much skin you're showing? I mean, it's the end of October. It's cold outside, and I ain't giving you my jacket. Chivalry is dead and died much, much long time ago. And, if you choose to dress that way, I'm guessing that a gentleman is not exactly what you're looking for tonight. I also don't understand Halloween. Okay, not about the costumes, but parents tell their kids not to take candy from strangers all the time. But once a year, they dress them out, send them out to beg for it. So then I think, okay, you know what, mom and dad, if I pull up in my white van and I'm giving it away for free, you shouldn't have any issues with it. And the kid should just come home with me, okay? No begging, no issues. And who remembers when Halloween was the only day that a girl could dress like a total slut and no other girl could judge her for it? Because ladies, let's trust it, y'all be judgy to each other, right? Now, slutty costumes are an everyday thing. Slutty costumes are just like so common once a year that it's and there's a correlation to it, right? Slutty went up in ranking when self-esteem went down in ranking. And I'm not trying to slut shame anybody because I hate that word. I'm just jealous because I'm a man and the slutty costumes for men are limited. However, the one time I did go out in my slutty costume, I went as a slutty plumber. I had a lot of butt cleavage on display that would mean so much more that, I figure my butt cleavage looks so nice that even Cardi B would be jealous. And the only thing I displayed more than my butt cleavage was my low self-esteem and daddy issues. And I also had to spend most of the evening going, hey, ladies, my eyes are up here and around front. Just saying. Okay. And seriously, Halloween is a time when the veil between the world of the living and the dead is thin, and the dead can walk among us. That's what they tell me when I was doing some research, right? So I'm just thinking to myself, are you so desperate for a date that you're trying to attract the dead with that slutty costume? I mean, did your last few Tinder dates teach you nothing, Tiffany? And before I go, I'd like to say, all right, just a question occurred to me. If you're already a slutty nurse, what costumes do you wear on Halloween? Is it the homely Tiffany costume? Just saying. Thank you. That's my time.
Very good. Good stuff there. I have to switch things around. Okay. I loved it. There was some really good stuff there. So the one tag I would say is like children, they are told not to take free candy. You could also like switch it up and be like, but adults will take
Mhm.
a free drink.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Good point.
So
Good point. Yeah.
yeah, and like you slip in something in the drink, so
Oh yeah, that's
something like
actually
that.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I like it.
All right. I like the butt cleavage. So you're like a sexy plumber, but I had a lot of butt cleavage. So also just a plumber. Yep. And then, what are you trying to do? Raise the dead.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like, you're, I don't know, like I'll think of it later. the other tag I had, it was a good one.
Thanks.
But yeah, that's kind of what I got. I liked it. There's some good stuff.
Thank you.
All right. Chris, you got anything to add?
It was definitely very structured. That's one thing I'll say. It was definitely very every joke had a follow up to it specifically.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one good thing, something that I don't have.
Like I said, dude, I've seen you that what now 2-3 times. You have material. You just need joke writing structure, right? So
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of the right tens with Joe Byers and stuff. That's what I've been doing, like to try to get better at little stuff.
yeah,
It's been
Those
working
are-
a little. I've been getting some good reactions.
Those are good little workshops. I did a couple this week. So yeah, I would suggest it as like a good little writing exercise thing. So yep, Joel Byers, write 10. Yep.
Yeah.
I like the sexy dad. Like, I could
Yeah.
feel if somebody's getting the
That was very
tinglies,
good.
then I'm a slutty dad. I feel like, you could also be like, one year I was a slutty dad and like some sort of, my jogging, my jogging pants shrunk in the dryer or something, dad like to make it
mm-hmm.
sexy. So I think that's
still
good.
a man in sweatpants and no underwear is very sexy to ladies. I don't know why, but I've been told that.
There you go. Yeah.
Sex pants, sweatpants to me just means I'm too lazy to have a shower and get dressed. But okay, whatever gets you going.
Exactly. All right. What about you, Ambrish? Been kind of quiet and also no screen happening.
I was just waiting for my turn for you to
Turn on
say
the-
my name so I could
Turn on the camera. Let's have a look.
No, don't say that, you weirdo. I
Just
see your glasses and your mustache,
No, that's
Well, why
with your
can't-
white van and your candy.
Well, why can't we like say the same thing about you?
What?
Like
Why are you
I
turning
feel
on
like
me
I'm
now?
talking to the robot.
I've been nice to you. Why
From
are you
Alright.
turning on me,
2001:
Alicia?
Space Odyssey.
I'm
I
not
said you have a beautiful voice and you're turning on me now.
I'm not turning on you. You're saying you're pointing out physical characteristics of other people, and we can't do the same to you because your camera's not on. So that's what I'm saying.
Well,
But
that's my
anyway,
power
what
right now.
did you have anything to say about Charles's stuff?
Well, I think the joke with the suburban dad. I want to ask, is that your normal persona? Cool, like you sound smooth there. That's a good persona if that's what you use normally for all of your
Ambrish,
jokes. Or if,
I've been doing comedy, my friend, for over 20 years, and that is my style. I'm very relaxed. I'm a storyteller.
yeah.
I don't tell jokes. I tell stories.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the persona is really good, the charming persona,
Mhm.
and
Thank you.
yeah,
Cool.
that's
Thanks,
all I
man.
really have to add to it. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, if you can tell a story I'm always impressed, because my storytelling ability is very nil. My stuff is all just jokes and just observations. It's not really like a through line story. So I'm always impressed with that. All right, Ambrish, we're going to go to you and your blank screen.
All right. I got the subject Jason Voorhees. I think that's how you say the guy's name. The hockey mask guy from the Friday the 13th. And I was reading up about him and the movies, and a lot of actors have done the role of Jason, and there has been a lot of controversy about it. Like the controversy is like who should get the credit for bringing the character of Jason to life. And I'm thinking whoever gets the credit, one thing is for sure. The people who acted as Jason must have really had disappointing careers if they're fighting over this. Like as I was reading about this, the word portrayal kept popping up. Like this actor's portrayal of Jason was versus that actor's portrayal. And I'm sure a lot of work went into it. Like I can imagine the actor who got the role talking to his acting coach like, so I recently got the role of a murderer, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to portray this character as. Like I'm trying to figure out what kind of facial expressions should I do for a character who has a mask. Like how would a character like Jason stand? Would he stand upright or straight? I'm just trying to figure that out. I don't know. Kane Hodder was the name of the actor who was Jason in Friday the 13th, and he was asking credit for his portrayal. And I think that's really pretentious and arrogant thing to ask from him. Like trivia for you, did you know that in the movie Jason was depicted by two actors? Neither did I. I've seen the movie. I couldn't tell the difference. Kane Hodder needs to shut up. I don't know. That's a structure I've never tried before, but anyway. In the movie Friday the 13th, they buried Jason after he killed 30 teenagers in 2 days. And after they killed him, everyone just went back to their lives. Like the cops didn't do anything. Like there was no thorough investigation. There wasn't a conversation. Like they were just like, hey Bob, do you want to figure out what this near invincible murderer thing is? And the other guy was like, nah man, I'm going home. Susan made some soup, tomato, my favorite. Just there was no investigation. But yeah, that's all I have on this.
All right, good, very good. My favorite part was the Susan made some soup and then tomato.
My favorite.
That was gold. It was so good.
That was mine.
Funny.
That's it. Sorry, I was going to say the exact same thing.
So funny. Yeah, I like some of your little details on your material. So yeah, that was really funny. And the two actors thing, I think is good too. I think you could, work that out like a little bit more. So, and I'm coming from like the point of view where I know who Kane Hodder is, and I know what other scary monsters he's played, things like that. So.
I was really hoping nobody knew who Kane Hodder was, because I manipulated some of the facts in there about him. I was like, nobody's gonna know who played Jason, so
Yeah,
I could lie to make the joke.
We all caught that, but we let it go.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, he did a lot of research, and a lot of times research does, you're mining for material. It does give you material, and you took the time to watch the movie or pretend to watch the movie at least. So I think that was good. Yeah. So good stuff. Thanks for doing the research. Like if you don't have any idea what the subject is, like taking the time to do that is awesome. So very cool.
Dude, half the time, Joe Kellen is taking the truth and then embellishing it with some lies.
Yeah.
Which is what you did.
Yeah, which is pretty much what you did. So don't apologize for it. It's all good.
Yeah. So Chris, any other response?
Yeah, he wasn't just Jason. He was He was Victor Crawley in the Hatchet series as well. Yeah.
All
You can tell the difference by the size of Jason in the movies. You can tell the difference which one's Kane Hodder, because Kane Hodder is
huge dude. Yeah.
he is a huge fucking dude. That's the thing. Like he is a huge, yeah. But I kind of liked how you did that angle, how you dissected also how like the cops never. But it's quite simple. The answer really, they need a sequel. That's why they didn't do a thorough investigation. They need a sequel. That's just how it is. Like no one cares what happens to teenagers. They need a sequel.
And would you say Kane Hodder did a good job as portraying the character of Jason?
Yeah, like at least the physical, because pretty much Jason's just a physical fucking role. So yeah, he did the job very well. He was also Jason's he was also Freddy Krueger's glove at the end of Jason Goes to Hell, which was at one point the final Jason. He was a Freddy Krueger's glove coming out of the thing.
Jason versus Freddy.
They waited years even after Jason X before they made Freddy versus Jason.
What do you mean he was his glove?
At the end of Jason Goes to Hell, when it seems like Jason's finally gone, you see Freddy's glove pop up and pulls the mask off. Basically, which was hinting for the sequel that they waited, a decade to make was like, which they made Freddy versus Jason. They were a decade too late with that opportunity.
Oh my god, that's sort of my favorite of the Jason series is Freddy versus Jason because I love Freddy Krueger, but I mean, which doesn't make sense why he's such a weirdly lovable character because he's such a freak.
He's such a psycho.
Wow. These movies sound fascinating.
It's because Robert Englund.
These movies just sound so fascinating to me. I'm just wondering what were the directors on? Like, what were they smoking when they made these? I don't know. Like, Jason is hand of Freddy Krueger, but he has knives, or I don't know. Canadians, I guess, or just white people.
There's a reason
white people.
In your dreams.
Right? Yeah.
I don't know.
I think Chris actually had a really good tag for the end of your set where he was like, that's why they do mundane things, so they need room for a sequel.
Yeah.
And by the way, dude, it's I don't even know how to say if there's a politically correct way to say this, but as a person of color, and you're obviously a person of color, we don't do horror movies. Okay. And if you see a black person in a horror movie, guess who's getting killed first? So
my Anaconda.
Well, mister, you're the lucky one. At least you're in the movie.
Yes, I am.
I'm the guy. I'm the doctor that they sometimes call.
Oh yeah, doctors always get fucked up too. They're always the one, but they see the body and the body rises up until the sequel's happening.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I liked that departure. I'm a big horror fan, but we're going to go ahead and move on to the next section of the workshop. I hope everyone had a good time with the first one. And so, I'm going to go ahead and do my set that I did earlier today. My costume is, I'm bringing you Ghostbusters 2 realness. I'm living my Janine Melnitz fantasy. Okay, I ain't afraid of no ghosts, is what I'm saying. So yeah, it's Halloween right now. Happy Halloween. It's also the election happening in a couple days. So get out your votes if you live or are a citizen. So yeah, it was crazy this year. But I think the craziest thing was when Kanye West announced his candidacy for president. Like when that happened, the look on my face was the same look that I get when I just realized that I got my period. Just yep, just an uncomfortable surprise. But yeah, it's been interesting. I'm actually kind of a disorganized person. My organization system are random piles piled randomly. And some people would call that a mess. And that is everybody. So yeah, kind of because that's kind of going out. So yeah, so kind of because of my disorganization, I'm actually I'm a terrible cook. I'm really bad. I don't read instructions. It's always kind of terrible. One time I microwaved a tortilla for 8 minutes, and that microwave was never the same. But in the end, it was okay because the microwave was my roommate's. So I was fine. But I'm actually a proud third generation terrible cook. The entire time growing up, I just thought that grilled cheese were burnt sandwiches and that hot dogs had a crust. I don't know if you know this, but meat doesn't have a crust. But it was different in my house. All right, guys. I like to do these silly impressions. You saw my Captain Kirk, but I like to do some different ones. This is my impression of a saint, a hero from a little known country called France. This is my impression of Joan of Arc. Bonjour. Huh? Pretty good. That was so good that I dare you to tell the difference. I dare you. All right, guys. My next impression is of the late, the great Cleopatra. Okay, Cleopatra. All right. Yeah, that was so good. I gave myself chills. Okay. Okay. Look at that. Look at that. That's goosebumps right there. Full on goose. Okay. Where's Maverick?
Rest.
Where's Maverick? I don't know. That's how good that impression was. Okay. My last impression is of a religious icon. This is my impression of the Virgin Mary. Shh. Don't tell nobody. Thank you, guys. I'm Alicia Rain. All right.
Oh my. All right. I love a good religious joke, so that's a good ending. Couple of quick notes that I wrote down while you were talking. The microwave, I think, the microwave had PTSD and starts beeping whenever I come into the kitchen. Meat with crust, it's Creole. At least that's your mother told you. And just as a note, I don't know if you can turn this into a joke, but pre-COVID, I was in Cuba, and we hired this guy to drive us around. He was telling us a story about something, and he said, "We were so touched by it that I got chicken skin." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" "Oh, you mean goosebumps? In Cuba, they call it chicken skin."
Okay. My friend was like, "Oh, you should turn it into goose pimples," and I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah,
"All right, that's another way to go."
cool. That's all the feedback I have.
Okay. I like the PTSD.
Mm-hmm. I think that joke has a few more taglines you can throw in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Very cool. Chris, you have anything to add?
Yeah, don't tell nobody. That was pretty funny. I dug that one. Yeah, I think actually for like a lot of the cooking one, I think you could have definitely like punched that one up a little bit. But I think that one definitely needed some jokes and some punchlines for that one specifically. I mean, I definitely like the direction that you were going in, but I definitely needed some. It needed like some jokes. Oh, I mean, just some punches, you know.
All right, for sure. Awesome. Thank you. All right, Ambrish, got any feedback?
The random piled randomly, that's a good solid throwaway joke. When you do the bonjour impression, you could also do to make it more believable. And when you were doing the impression joke where you were what was the joke again? Sorry, when you were saying it was so good that I something something,
Oh, I gave myself chills.
you could just say maybe orgasm. I don't know.
Chicken skin.
Maybe that could be too much of an or exaggeration, so it might not work. But something other than chills. That's what I'm feeling right now. Maybe more exaggeration in there, but not as much as orgasm. I don't know.
Something in between. Okay.
No pun intended.
All right. Well, very cool. I appreciate the feedback. That's why I like hosting this. I get a lot of good feedback. All right. We're going to move right along to Chris.
All right.
All right. Very cool.
Well, I'm like you. I'm also a terrible cook due to my poor organizational skills, and I'm just a terrible cook in general. Like, I actually had to watch a YouTube video just to know how to pour an ice tray. That's how fucking bad I was. I literally had to buy a book by Gordon Ramsay to pour cereal correctly. But yeah, sorry, my thoughts are still all over the place right now. But yeah, I've been like, because based on the topic of witches we were talking about earlier and stuff, I've had an interesting love life, just a lot of rough experiences, with women and stuff. But I've learned that a lot of the stuff that they do say in those proverbs is actually pretty correct about women, especially when they say that love is a hole in your heart. That's especially true if your girlfriend at the time is clumsy at knife play. That is very, very true. People always the time ask me if I'm got like kind of just like like a kind of a mental thing or do. I know I definitely have something because I never really grasp things as fast as other people. When people used to always ask me if I had some screws loose, I always just assumed it was because I was a terrible mechanic. That's honestly what I thought. That's what they meant. So I'm trying to remember what I had written down. Oh my god, sucks. I'm forgetting everything. Oh yeah, I know. I know I'm scared shitless of hospitals because you always find the worst things ever that happen inside hospitals. I know I was at the Vegas hospital one time. I heard this dude next to me screaming because apparently somehow a phone charger got stuck up his butt. I'm not even kidding. I had to listen to this dude, listen to him remove a phone charger from this dude's butt while I'm just in the hospital. And I'll tell you, the only thing worse than that procedure was hearing him scream when he got the bill because it was an extra 5G. But yeah, a little bit about me. I am 29 years old, but I do choose to identify as a dad at barbecue. Just because it was an easy transition for me. I just simply went from good old propane all the way to charcoal. And be prepared because the rest of my jokes are much like my diet. They are just hammy as fuck. So let's see. Yeah, so let's see how this goes. I know something really horrifying happened to me over the pandemic. I ordered delivery from Chuck E. Cheese Pizza. Yes, that's right. Chuck E. Cheese now does delivery. It's horrifying, folks. Let me tell you. If you thought those animatronic critters were scary on stage, wait until they show up at your front door. A lot of people at the time, they were saying like a lot of people, and then like Chuck E. Cheese is actually going out of business now, and a lot of people are saying like, I guess it proves that robots don't always improve quality. I had a better punchline, but I'm just like, my head's all over the place right now. I'm just trying my best at this point. All right, what was the other stuff I was going to talk about? Yeah, sorry, I'm forgetting like everything. I've been having such a bad day. All right, let's see what else. Oh yeah, over in Florida, it's a little bit different. In Vegas, a lot of stuff has changed since the pandemic. Number one, before the pandemic happened, casinos would always throw your ass out if you ran out of money while you're at the tables. And now, since the pandemic started, well, the security will actually help you apply for credit because they need all the damn help they can get. And I know a big thing people are saying, like, avoid Vegas, avoid the Strip. I'm hearing this from a lot of locals where they're all basically saying things like, oh, avoid the Strip, all the violence. People are just like, shootings happening like crazy. People beating the shit out of each other like crazy. People having fights in the bowling alleys at the casinos. Yes, they have those too. They're throwing bowling balls at each other. And they're like, we need to go back to the old days of Vegas. And I'm like, you guys know who started Vegas, right? The fucking mob started Vegas. I'm like, the mob started Vegas. That's right. The only difference now is that between now and when the mob ran Vegas is that when the mob ran Vegas, you didn't know that they killed someone until you discovered their body somewhere laying in the desert. You see, the outfit in Vegas was the Ashley Madison version of the mob. We killed discreetly. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. My head's so far gone right now, so I probably should just go stop through because I can't remember half the stuff I was.
Sure. Well, there's some good stuff there, some good jokes. So yeah. So you're like, oh, do you remember how Vegas used to be? And I feel like there's like a mega thing where make Vegas mob again, or make Vegas illegal again, or something like that.
Oh, I actually did have. Oh shoot! Now I remember. I actually did have a couple one-liners about the election. Basically, that was going on.
Right. And then you said something about the people are actually helping people to get loans.
Oh yeah, I was basically saying like before the pandemic, if you ran out of money, casinos would have security throw your ass out. But since the pandemic, now they will, if you run out of money, they will help you apply for credit. Because of how bad things are in Vegas. They'll really help you apply for credit.
Wow.
No, seriously, it's dirt cheap. You can get hotel rooms for like $15 to $20 in Vegas. They need people so badly here. They are lowering the prices so bad. They will literally let anyone. It is cheaper to get a hotel room in Vegas than it is to rent an apartment for a month in Vegas. That's literally how cheap shit's getting right now because they need people so badly here. That's no joke. Seriously, if you guys want to come to Vegas, this is the time to come to Vegas.
I feel like there's a commercial in there that some sort of sketch. So you were like, they would help you apply for Greta. I feel like there's also like a line where you could say, and the bookies before pandemic and then after pandemic,
Bookies?
you know, I don't know, like mob stuff. Like, don't they have like bookmakers who
I
loan
don't
you
know. I don't think
money?
they call. I don't think they call them bookies. I don't think
Loan sharks. It's
no,
just all
loan sharks
very,
are the enforcers.
it's all very romantic in my mind, and it's
Oh,
not,
it's fine.
not how it is at all.
I only know some
Right.
of it 'cause I did some tours in Vegas, so I learned a lot about the mob history. Like a lot of people were saying, "Aren't you afraid of all those all the grasshopper invasion that happened in Vegas, where there was all kinds of just grasshoppers that like a swarm of them. They were just flying everywhere, like around the casinos. They were on the slot machines, just a swarm of grasshoppers. I'm like, no, look at the history of Vegas. We've always been pretty bugsy."
All right, Charles, you got any other responses?
Nope.
All right.
I try to put some structure
not-
in them.
Well,
I tried.
I mean,
I really tried. My head's all over the place right now. Like it's just been a bad day for me.
you keep on responding to our jokes with new jokes. Like anytime we're like, oh, what about this tag? All of a sudden there's like a whole new joke. So it's kind of hard to give you feedback because you just keep on giving us jokes, but it's great. Keep going with it. So Ambrish, I'm going to down to you. Do you have any response?
Not really, no. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. All right. Chris, thanks so much for sharing that. I know you kind of had a rough day, but good stuff. Charles, we're going to go ahead and put you in the hot seat.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay. All right. So, being in Halloween, I'm going to start by telling you all that I wear the same costume every year for Halloween. You're looking at it. Take a close look. I go out incognito. It's an old joke. I haven't used that in a long time, so thank you all for laughing. I like that. So it's 2019. And I have to let you know, people, I'm getting quite old, and the world is changing. I know you can't tell because I look very young, but I'm actually much older than you would guess. And the world is changing a little too fast for me. Lately, I find myself making old man type decisions. Like when I was putting some clothes on before to come on here to do the show with you guys, I had to decide whether or not I was wearing the belt above or below the waist. I decided to go with below. And I'm having a hard time keeping up with all the technological changes that are going on. We have computer chips and everything now. Did some renovations on my house, and I have a computer chip in which there's one in my scale. I have a smartwatch, I have a smartphone, and they're all connected. And so I live in a connected house, and I have this recurring nightmare that I'm going to wake up in the morning, step on my scale, and it's going to send a text message to my fridge. Don't open the door for this fat fuck. Just passing some celery sticks through the ice ice cube dispenser. So the other thing I was thinking the other day, that wouldn't it be great, especially for single people, if people came into the world with a barcode on their foot? Kids would be born, and after the doctor spanks their butt and makes them cry, he would scan the barcode to learn more about them. Boop. This one appears not to be a winner. Boop. This one's going to light the world on fire, literally. Boop. This one will have low self-esteem. Call her Tiffany. Boop. Also, no, this one name her Brandy, because I believe there's a poll in her future. I keep doing this all night. I can just keep throwing out names and beeping. Also, by the way, that boop, that's the sound I make when I have sex, ladies. So it's kind of sexy. Run with it. Imagine waking up to that, right? One of the things, I noticed something weird, that people say some of the weirdest things. And because I'm a comic, it kind of sticks out in my head. Like the other day, I went for lunch with a friend of mine, and I know some of you guys are not in Calgary, Alberta, where it snows all the time, but it snows. And so as we finished our lunch, we were walking out, and he says to me, dude, it's so cold out today. I can't wait to go home, get naked, and get into a hot shower. Now, I know that I'm not native to Canada, but is there any other way to shower besides naked? Have you guys been holding out on me, you first worlders? Am I missing something? Because when I think of shower, I think naked. The only time, unless of course you're a lazy single guy and you want to wash your clothes in the shower. But seriously, you get naked and get in the shower. There's no options. There's no choice. The other thing too is So I used to be a smoker, and I quit smoking. And I quit smoking because smoking kind of makes a beggar out of you. Because when you don't have any, you just go around and you're bumming them like you're on the street going, "Hey, can I have a, do you have a spare cigarette? Do you have a spare cigarette?" And I feel really bad because I used to be that guy guys would come up to me to bum cigarettes, and I would be, because I'm a comic, I'd be a bit of an ass. I would say, "Hey, dude, do you have a spare cigarette?" And I'd pull out my pack and I say, "You know what? Just so happens I do. I brought myself a fresh pack. It says right here, there's 20 on the box. I'm gonna open up, and if I count them, and there's 21 or 22, those be spares. You can have those." But when I say that, but I quit, and I quit cold turkey, and then I realized, when you quit smoking, it's kind of like breaking up with a girlfriend. You break up with cigarettes, and now you're trying to avoid places where cigarettes will be hanging out, right? So that means you don't go to bars, you go to social events, whatever. But oh, you miss cigarettes, right? She's constantly in your mind. So then one day, your friends say, "Hey, come on, let's go out." So you go out, and sure enough, cigarettes is there. Oh, and she's looking so good, right? Oh, right. You're trying to avoid her, but nope, she's there. You have a couple more drinks, and cigarettes starting to look really good. And before you know it, you're out back in the alley, and you got your mouth all over cigarettes. It tastes like caramel. And then you take her home with you, and you have a few more, and then you wake up in the morning, and you smell like cigarettes all over you, and you're like, "Oh God, I got to start all over again. I've brought back together with cigarettes. This is not fun." And you know that when you get back together with an old girlfriend, it's never going to go well. That's why y'all broke up in the first place, and so it didn't go very well. So that's my thing there with cigarettes. The other thing I was watching a lot of football lately, and the last game I watched, it came down to the last 20 seconds, and that last 20 seconds went on for 15 minutes with the timeouts and whatever. And I thought, wouldn't it be great if sex could be like the last 20 seconds of any professional sporting event? Think about it. You're down to the short strokes, call a timeout, maybe go to the sidelines, check things out. She's going, "Holy shit, is he gonna bust a nut and we can go to sleep now?" But no, that last 20 seconds could last for 15 minutes. There are a lot of single guys out there who would really buy into that. That's my time.
Okay. All right, switching it up here. All right, good stuff. I like the old man decisions. Making old man decisions. That's good. I kind of want like your technology. I kind of want some Alexa in there or Siri saying stuff to you. I think that would be good. It's bad for you, or robot voice. I feel like there's a couple more old man decisions you can make, and also
Actually, there is. I shortened that. I cheated on you guys. That joke actually goes on for about 10 minutes. I can do a whole 10-minute set on aging.
old man decisions.
Old man decision, like sitting on the corner of the bed, taking 10 minutes to try to figure out which socks goes with sandals. Actually, the answer is none.
All right. Yep, that's what I was looking for, and you had it all ready to go. So good.
Yeah.
And then, is there any other way to take a shower? I feel like there's also, is there any other way to do other things? Like that are ridiculous. Like, is there any other way to eat food? Like with a fork, or something
Wow.
obvious. I think there's like some room there.
Mr. Singh would probably appreciate this because I'm from the Caribbean. We do eat with our fingers, just like they do in India.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Cool.
So I mean, obvious to me, not obvious to other folks. So, but I feel like there's like some other things there. So
you're quite right. I'm taking some notes.
All right, Chris, got any response for me?
Yeah, definitely double down on the accessing the refrigerator, giving you a warning and stuff. Like that was personally my favorite part about it. It was we were talking about the refrigerator and how it was giving different different signals based on gonna eat something, like it opened up like a corridor for something. I thought that was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't.
Thanks, man.
I don't know if I don't know if I understood exactly where like you were kind of going with the whole baby and the babies and the barcodes and stuff. I don't know if I fully like kind of got that one.
That's
Like,
it. That's an add-on to an existing joke that I wanted to try, and I realized that not telling you because I told you I'm a storyteller. It's a preamble. There's about 5 minutes of material that I know works really well. Now I'm just trying to stretch it out, where it actually is an extension of a joke about buying lottery tickets and scanning the barcode to see if you win. And then wouldn't it be great if people had barcodes? Then you could scan them too, and sort of. So yeah. So you guys got it out of context. So that's good. Good to know. That was my thing, is can I pull these jokes separately to make smaller sets, because I'm used to doing 45 minutes to an hour long sets, and trying to do a 3 to 5 minutes sometimes is a struggle for me, because I'm a storyteller and taking it out of context. So thank you. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Well, and
Yeah.
even just that little bit that you said was enough of a description for the barcode thing. So
I just didn't kind of understand exactly where it was kind of like,
Mhm.
I think I agree. Probably without context, it didn't. I don't know if it seems like it worked for Alicia, but I don't know. Like I was kind of a little like that's why I was kind of just bringing that up, because for me, it's me. So like maybe.
All good. All good. I appreciate the feedback, man.
I also was a smoker for a really long time, so I totally get what you're saying. I feel like there's, beyond the smelling like smoke, there's that awkward morning after where you're like getting ready and trying to avoid eye contact or something like
good.
that.
I like that. That's good.
I have a bit about it too, because it was such a huge part of my life that I'm sure anybody, most comics who were smokers must have a bit about it. So I appreciated it. It was good.
Thanks.
Yeah, Ambrish, what do you got?
So how long have you been working on that set?
Which set? That one?
Yeah, that material.
I don't know. Like I said, some of those came out of context. They're sets that I want to add into an existing set that's actually about 45 minutes long.
Right.
Yeah.
So you've been working at it for some time now.
Oh God, yes.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I don't really have anything to add to it. It seemed like the set was already tight, so I don't really have anything to add to it.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
All right. Well, Ambrish, you ready for the hot seat?
Yeah, I wanted to try out a joke. Not really a joke. Existing bit I have, and there's a joke in there that I wanted to try out. And after that, I had a few premises that I wanted to throw out and see, what we can come up with. I could do my older material or just my refined material, but I don't think there's a point of doing that when I know it works and I don't really have anything to add to it. But I've been in the country for 2 years now, and I miss my family. I still have a good relationship with them, though. I love my mother. She loves me. I love my sister. She hates me. I mean, it's nothing personal. She just despises who I am as a person. And no, we're good. She's my eldest sibling, so growing up, she helped me out often, sometimes never. And no, actually, I got good at English because of her. She used to watch Friends, the show Friends, and I watched along because of a medical condition called Older Sister Stronger. And yeah, that's the joke I wanted to try. That's the bit I wanted to do.
Are you still there?
Oh no, the record stopped.
No. Is it me? Is it my internet? All right. Well, good stuff, Ambrish.
We lost him.
I know.
That's
I'm having flashbacks to my childhood. It's when my mom would be calling me from upstairs, and I'd be all the way down in the basement, and she'd be like, "Charles, come!" and I'd go running, and this is the Stephanie, and she'd say, "Can you change the channel for me?"
I actually just remembered one of my jokes that I forgot to tell. All right, is it all right if I tell
Yeah,
it?
go.
It's actually a joke, a prepared one. All right. So my buddy was asking me on Facebook. They always ask me all kinds of weird questions. I actually just remembered like 3 jokes I was gonna tell. Like he was basically saying like he basically said do horses feel pain when they have when they get the horseshoes made out of them? The horseshoeing process and stuff. I'm like, of course not. After their horseshoeing process, they ask them if it hurts, and they say nay. In the other one I had where I was saying like a lot of shit usually goes over my head and stuff, where I don't I don't really get things too much. For example, there was this horrifying documentary called Leaving Neverland, which was about Michael Jackson, the child molestation. But of course me, not getting the cues, I turned that documentary on expecting a thriller.
Ha ha ha. I only have one Michael Jackson joke, and I sometimes will start my set with that, and I'll say, I've been told that a lot of you people showed up here just to see me, and I'm really touched, not Catholic priest Michael Jackson touched, but touched nonetheless.
Yeah. And the other one I had was a big chain. I forgot, it was part of the Vegas one. Like, you may have heard this one actually, Charles, but it was basically I was basically saying even churches are doing things different now in Vegas. They're now having drive-through sermons, drive-through movie theaters, where you listen to where you listen to the sermon in your car. It's called Dashboard Confessional. I have little ones like that. I had a couple political ones, but I don't know, I always feel weird about talking about mentioning apolitical stuff. I've gotten some good reaction for some of mine, but I'm always weird about telling those jokes just because I haven't even voted yet. I don't even know who the fuck I'm voting for.
So where did I
get
get cut off for during my thing?
Yeah, we
welcome
can
back,
certainly
welcome
do
back.
that. He's back. He's back.
So when
All
did I get
right.
cut off? What point did I get cut off?
Well, you actually, I think you did finish it. You were like,
said you
"That's the
finished
stuff.
it.
That's the stuff I wanted to work on," and then we're like,
No. I mean, there was another premise. Did you hear the premise about the sex robots or?
No, you got
Oh.
to your sister and you stopped there.
Yeah.
Like which joke? Which
No,
joke was
just
on?
kind
Or
of
what was?
scratched a little bit.
Oh, I suffer from bigger sister, bigger or older.
Older sister, stronger. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I couldn't. Yeah, that's why I had to watch Friends. But anyway, there's another premise I want to work on. So basically, the idea is, that women will go out of business when sex robots come in. And what I'm going for is the ideas that I have in my mind is, like sex robots would have different features, like they would have a cup holder, I don't know, seat warmer, or stuff like that. I was thinking of adding features that a car has and basically putting them on a sex robot. And I was really hoping that when I'm hoping, I've never tried this premise, but I'm hoping when I say this that I could maybe get I could speak for it like totally, so I could get a vibe from the women in the audience where they go, the laugh that's coming from them is sort of trying to embarrass me. And I was trying to think of a way. I don't know, I'm just trying to I could work that into the premise. Yeah. So the next joke that I'm going for is basically that like women, when I say that idea, women are just they try to embarrass me or something like that. And I mean, of course, they would never, they would, of course, they would try to embarrass me and say that's, like I'm a loser or something for thinking that, because it's like, people who, have Apple phones, they're never going to say that, Samsung has a new feature. You should, you should go buy a Samsung phone because that has a new good feature. That's good, bad for business. And yeah, that's the bit I'm trying to work on now. That's the premise I had today. That's something I thought of. So
Okay, are you ready for some feedback?
yeah, huh?
Okay. All right. I think with the sex robot, you could also be like, and it goes from like 1 to 50 in 2 minutes or something like that.
Okay.
Has acceleration, fast acceleration. So,
And what?
well, you're trying to
L-
say it's a car, and so it goes from like 1 to 60 in 2 minutes.
Or maybe it washes dishes. No, no, that would be sexist. No, I don't want to make the yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. 1 to 16, 4.3 seconds.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Anything else, Chris?
I feel bad that I missed a bunch of the set when the thing kind of cut off and stuff. Like I kind of had forgotten a little bit of it. And I do kind of apologize. I think the sex robot thing. I think that is a very good premise about kind of the cup holders and the different things that would replace. I think it needs to be kind of a little bit more punchier, where you need to kind of describe maybe like differences between women getting cups or like having a cup holder or like something in that direction, like just more a little deeper. It needs a little more meat to it. I think in that area specifically
Right.
for the sex robot bit. Like,
All right.
just kind of because it kind of seemed like you were saying, oh, it could have cup holders and other stuff, but I'm like, so like, I don't know, like it just, because I was kind of thinking in my head, I'm like something that basically things that like a car could do that a woman couldn't, or something like that specifically, kind of like a little bit more punchier detail on that subject. That's kind of if that's the route you're taking it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just a premise that I thought of today. So, these were two ideas that I threw out about, women, like how if I brought up the subject that women would try to embarrass me. I mean, I don't really know. Really, Alicia could tell me that, if she would think I'm a loser for bringing up this subject. But I just thought of it today, and I was trying to compare it to, like Apple people being, like a smugger thing that you own an Android and stuff like that, maybe connected to that. And the first idea was maybe describing the features, and the only thing I could think of was a cup holder and a seat warmer for today. So yeah, but yeah, I definitely see your point, and making more detailed, getting more detailed punchlines in there, and really fleshing out the subject.
Oh yeah.
All right, Charles, you got any feedback?
Nope.
Okay, I would say I do like that friend's older sister thing. I think that was pretty solid. And talking about your family is always like a gold mine to get a lot of stuff out of that. So yeah. All right, guys.
Hey, so would you say if I brought up the sex robot subject, would you say that you would call me a loser, or no?
No.
As long as you're not making fun of anybody.
Yeah.
What?
No. What I mean that is that you can, if you say a joke, but you turn it on yourself, right? And it's not belittling any group or whatever, right, to offend anybody. But if you turn the joke back on yourself, it usually works.
I mean,
Like,
okay.
if you're going to talk about like that subject, you kind of have to say, well, why am I talking about that subject? Is it about me? And again, it doesn't have to be true, right? It just has to be real.
Right.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm hoping to make a point. I don't know. I don't even know if it even has a point in that bit. But I'm hoping to make one. But I don't know. I'll see where it goes. But yeah.
For sure. Working on it is always, getting out there. There's online mics galore to practice that stuff. So, guys, I think we got a lot of good feedback. I enjoyed everyone's, stuff they're working on, and I enjoyed the stuff that came out of the subjects we were given. Happy Halloween.
All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.
All right. Bye, you guys. And bye,
Bye-bye.
Internet.
Bye.